All right, so today we're going to be talking about measures of center and spread. So let's first look at measures of center. So we've got three ways we can group this data around a central point. First is the mean. That's also called the average. The way we do that is we calculate all the data values. That's called calculating the sum and dividing by the number of values in a set of data. So if I have 1, 2, and 3, what I do is I add them, then I divide by how many numbers I've got there. I've got 3 numbers, as in that's my first number, my second, my third number. Okay, so that becomes divided by 3 equals 1 plus 2 plus 3 6 divided by 2. So my average in this case would be 2. We give it this symbol here. That's called X bar. The bar part's this bit there. All right, the median is the middle value. So if I had 1, 2, 3, my middle number is the 2. Okay, and the mode is the most frequently occurring value. So if I have 1, 2, 2, 3, my most frequently occurring value is 2 because I've got 2 of them, and the other ones I've only got 1 each. Okay. All right, so let's look at the mean. The mean or the average is, as we said before, is the sum of the values divided by the number of values. Okay, so what we need to do here, I'm actually going to get you to do a calculation. I'll come back and do the answer, but I'm going to set up the first one so you actually know what you've got to do. So you have to do so that the mean, so let's call it X bar for now, is going to be the sum of those numbers divided by how many numbers? How many data values, I should say. How many data values? Okay. All right, so you're going to have to do it for both of A and B here. So I'm going to get you to go away and calculate it, see what you can get for that, and then I'll come back and I'll give you the answers for this. Okay, welcome back. So for A, what we've got here is the sum of those values. So we add them up. We'd go 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 4 plus 8 plus 3 plus 4. That will give us 35. Okay, if we count how many we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, divided by 7. Okay, and we do a calculation. Yeah, we work out how many times 7 goes into 35, and we find the answer is 5. So we've got the average. That's what you need to do. So for here, let's go call it X bar again. And for this one, what we got to do is we calculate the total number of values. So again, we'd go 0, 0, 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus etc. right through. What we find there is the answer will be 50. We're going to divide that by how many numbers there are. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so what we find that is we put divided by 17. So that becomes an answer of 2.941. Okay, and ideally we want one decimal place here. So remember, you've got to remember you're rounding of decimals. So remember, when you've got a 4, you want to go to one decimal place, so you only want one number here. So we look to the number to the right. That's a 4. So if it's between 0 and 4, 9 remains unchanged. If it was bigger than that, we'd have to change that. Okay, so that's what we need to do to get the mean. The median is the middle value for an odd number of data and the average of the two middle values for an even number of data. So we'll go through what that actually means in a moment. Okay, and so what we'll find here is that the values must be arranged in numerical order. So that means I've got to start from smallest to biggest. Okay, and then there are as many values above the median as below it. So when I did my example before, where I had 1, 2, 3, my middle numbers here, I've got one number here and one number there. Okay, If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, my middle number's there. I've got 2 numbers there, 2 numbers there. Okay, that's what we mean when we're talking about that. For an even number of values, the median may not be one of the listed scores. So I'll give you an example of that when we actually do it. Okay, so let's have a look at this first set of data. So for A, we need to put in numerical order. All right. So if we put this in numerical order, what we find is we go 2, 3, 4, 4, 4. Then we've got 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, and 8. So if you're doing this, cross those out as you do them, okay? So you'd go, what you do is you'd go 2, then I look for do it have another 2? No. Then I go 3, then I go 4, then I go, and there's another 4, there's another 4. Do it like that as you go through, okay? Then we count how many numbers there are. In this case, there's 15 numbers, so it's an odd number of values. So what we're going to go for is the value that will mean there's, in this case, we'd go for value 8. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now that means I've got 7 values that side, and I've got 7 values to the right as well. So that's what we're talking about, this part here. So we're going for that middle number. So my answer here is 5. All right. Now, when we do the next question, what we find is that, let's do this one. We go, I'm going to put it in order. So we're going to go 2, then we go, there's another 2. Then we go, is there a 3? There's a 3, and then there's another 3. So we've crossed it out. So we're going to go 4, then we're going to go 5. We've got a 6. Yes, we have a 6. Then we've got a 7. We've got a 7, so I'm going to have to put 2 7s there. And I've got 2 8s. So I've got 2 8s. And I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 9s. 9, 9, 9. Okay. So let's have a count of numbers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so I've got 14 numbers. So what I've got to do is I've got to find the 2 middle numbers. Okay, so I've got 14. I'll go up 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so here. Then if I went back up this way, I'd find this is 7 numbers. So these are my 2 middle numbers. What I do to those, I get the average. Remember what we did before? We go 6 plus 7 divided by 2. That's 13 divided by 2. That equals 6.5. If you want to do it as I don't know why I put 2 there. You write a 6.5, or as a decimal, you go 6.5. Okay, that's the process you need to do. Okay. All right, what we're looking at now is the mode. The mode is the most common value in a data set. So some sets of data have more than one mode or no mode at all. Really, no mode at all, it's not strictly true. What we're saying is they're all a mode because we have there's one of each of them, or there's 2 of each of them. Okay. So let's look at A. Okay. I've only got 1, 2. I've got a 3. I've got 4. I've got 2 5s. I've got 2 6s. But hang on, I've got 3 8s. So my mode here is 8 because that's the biggest number. That's the most number I've got. Okay. B, I've got a 12. I've got two 12s. So I've got 12. I've got two of them. Okay, 18. I've only got one, so the 12's still in front there. 5. I've got two. Okay. And that's 5. I've got two. 17. I've only got one. 3. I've only got one. 2. I've only got one. 10. I've only got one. So in this case, my mode, I've actually got two of them, is 5 and 12. Okay. C. Do we have any numbers in common? No, we don't. So what we say there is essentially there's when it's set, we say no mode in terms of what's written here. It's saying there's no one specific mode. They're all mode because we've all, there's one of each of them. Okay. So effectively, that's why we say there's no specific mode here. All right. So the measures of spread, these measures indicate how far data values are spread from the center from each other. There are several measures, but the most appropriate one to discuss at this stage is the range. Okay, so the range for a set of values is the difference between the highest and the lowest values. The difference here means highest minus lowest. Okay. So what's my smallest number? I've got a 12. Do I have any smaller number? No. So in this case, 12 is my lowest. What's my biggest? I go 76. Do I have any bigger? No, I don't. So I go 76 minus 12. That's going to give me 64. And that is the range. Look at the biggest, look at the smallest, get the difference. So you get the highest minus lowest. That's all. Okay, thank you. Bye.